rock! When it comes to my films, there is no such thing as the perfect do-it-all camera. I use a larger, high-quality mirrorless camera for shots like this, but it's much too large and heavy to take on my adventures. And for that, I rely on a series of smaller action cameras. And these are like different tools in my toolkit, something I've talked about before, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. A little over 2 years ago, I introduced you to a tiny action camera from Insta360, the Go 2, which filled a gap in my storytelling toolbox for a camera that could go where no other cameras could. And the world's smallest action camera has been improved with the release of the Go 3, which is priced starting at about $380, depending on the size of internal storage, including several accessories. So in this video, I'll tell you about the improvements made to the Go 3, and I'll show you some test footage that I shot here recently while in England's Lake District. And thank you very much to Insta360 for both providing the camera and for sponsoring this video. Let's start with the form factor. The Go 3 is a completely self-contained camera with a built-in battery and memory. It's designed to be as lightweight and simple to use as possible. There's just one button, which you press once to start recording when using quick capture mode, and again to stop recording and to turn it off. Or you can press and hold the button to both turn it on and off if you'd prefer to have it in standby mode. The camera is magnetic, so it snaps securely into place using various attachments, like the included Easy Clip, the pivot stand, and magnetic pendant. And it's waterproof to up to 5 meters, so no worries about wearing it outside in the rain. While the camera is on and in the included action pod, you can now see a preview of the image on the built-in screen, which flips up for selfie mode. The screen is a brand new feature on the Go 3. It's a touchscreen which allows you to customize all of the settings on the camera without having to connect it to a separate app on your phone like with the previous version, although that is still an option. So this is a major improvement for someone like me who's using it out in the field. I can now quickly preview my shot once I get the camera into place to make sure that I like the framing. The case also now has a lock, so in addition to holding the camera in place magnetically, there's a button that you need to press to release it as well, which keeps it much more secure. I store the entire unit in a small neoprene case when not in use to keep it safe and the lens clean. The next major improvement is in both battery life and recording time, up to 50% longer battery life than the Go 2 when using it standalone. The camera is charged whenever it's in the action pod, which is also used to unload the files to your computer. The final major improvement is in image quality. Filming in video mode allows for up to 2.7K resolution at up to 30 frames per second, with 3 levels of in-camera stabilization. But I tend to shoot in what's called free-frame video mode at 1440p so that I can reframe my shot and add stabilization in the Insta360 Studio app. This way, I don't have to worry quite as much about cutting anything out on the top or bottom of the frame while I'm filming. And the camera now also features built-in stabilization in case you want to skip the step of stabilizing in post using Insta360's desktop software, which is intended more for professionals, but it does in my experience yield slightly better results and with some additional options. But the mobile app is much more user-friendly and comes with AI features that simplify the editing process significantly. There's also a time-lapse, time shift, and slow motion mode, as well as star-lapse for shooting time-lapses at night and interval recording. And of course, it's got a regular and an HDR photo mode for increased dynamic range. So what use do I personally see for a camera like this? Well, mainly for hands-free POV shots, like when I'm scrambling, or otherwise just need my hands, say when using my poles or at an aid station during a race. I can clip it directly to the brim of my hat using the included Easy Clip and then tilt it as needed. Or, using the pendant, I can mount it directly to my chest. I also like to use it for any creative shots where a larger or potentially just more expensive camera wouldn't be ideal. With a camera this small, there are just so many creative possibilities, especially given that it will stick to pretty much anything metal. There are so many shots that just wouldn't be practical with my GoPro Hero 11, which weighs 153 grams, compared to just 35 grams for the Go 3, which is also close to a third the size. When mounted to the optional selfie stick, the flip-up screen allows you to capture selfie shots as well, with a much larger screen than the front screen of the GoPro. Now, this camera certainly will not replace all of the other action cameras that I regularly use, but it is a nice supplement, like having yet another specialized lens for my mirrorless camera, allowing me to tell more visually creative and engaging stories. So if you'd like to learn more, visit the link in the description below. And be sure to tell me as well in the comments how you might see using this camera in your own storytelling toolbox.